we live? I said, are we live? We live in his app. Well, then let's get it then. Alrighty. Any other time, he right here on the screen. Now you need him, he not showing up. Hey, that's on. Is he doing something other than the shadows? All right, y'all. This Kevin came 2 hours ago.
It's a shadow with the two eyes. So y'all see the shadow with the two eyes on it with the mouth? The shadow with the two eyes. See right over there, see? See the shadow with the two eyes, y'all see it?
All right, put the food away.
I'm gonna move this. So I'm gonna take my hair down. With my camera down, man. So, see, this is my veil, the shadow with the two eyes. 1, 2, in the mouth. See the eyes and everything? It looks evil. Evil Knievel. See y'all? The shadow with the two eyes. See the shadow with the two eyes, y'all see it? The shadow with the two eyes. So I'm just doing this, having fun, y'all. I'm having a ball here. I'm having a ball. The shadow with the two eyes. See the shadow with the two eyes, the two eyes, the two eyes. The shadow with two damn eyes. Two dirty do iron damn eyes. Two damn A's. Two eyes. Two damn eyes. Two damn eyes. The shadow with the two eyes. The shadow with the two eyes. The shadow with the two eyes. So I'm making my pockets on my pajamas, my PJs go out like this. The shadow with the two eyes. The shadow with the two eyes. What's the two eyes? There's a shadow with the two eyes. The shadow with the two eyes. The shadow with the two eyes. The shadow, move my pockets out. The shadow with my two eyes. The shadow with my two eyes. The shadow with the two evil eyes. The shadow with the two eyes. So you look at the shadow with the two eyes. The shadow with the two eyes. See, look at that big old cloud over there with the shadow with the two eyes. The shadow with the two eyes. The shadow with the two eyes. The shadow with the two eyes.
Okay. Is he still going? I need to get over. You are all right. Damn, Kevin, that was quick. I had to put the food away. I was trying to hurry up. I was hoping you would entertain y'all while I put the food away. Okay. Alrighty. That was Kevin Joseph King. I was hoping he entertained y'all long enough for me to put the food away. Let me show y'all something. I sent this to some of y'all earlier today. Oh, wrong one. Come on, you can hit anybody because I sent it to a lot of people. Okay, minimize. Come up here. Alrighty.
A man in a wheelchair was beaten up and robbed in the Bronx, and police want to find the people responsible. Surveillance video shows the attack November 8th around 2:30 in the morning at the corner of East Tremont and Anthony
beating up a
Avenues.
man.
Officers say the 39-year-old victim got into an argument with a woman on the sidewalk. Then she and three men attacked him, knocking him out of his wheelchair. You can see a person in a yellow jacket grab his backpack, which had his cell phone and $800. Police say the victim had some injuries but refused medical treatment. If you recognize the
out there in the wheelchair,
call NYPD's Crime Stoppers hotline
with $800.
577 tips. Katie Johnston for CBSN, New York.
Do y'all understand? Do y'all understand? Why is a man that's in a wheelchair out running his mouth out there arguing with people when he got $800 on him? Got $800 on him. And he out there in the wheelchair just saying, rob me. I'm here for you. Just come rob me. Not only come rob me, beat me up, turn me over upside down so I'm like a fish out of water. I shouldn't be out here trying to hang with the yo boys. I'm trying to prove just because I'm crippled, that don't mean I can't get down. Well, he got thrown down. And guess what? When he got thrown down, you know what he said? I'm falling and I can't get up. Nia said he's an adult. He should go where he wants. The streets say otherwise. If you ain't got no backup with you, should nobody that can't walk be out there on the street trying to hang with the yo boys and out there running his mouth to women? No, there ain't nothing but a bunch of simps out there ready to try to be Superman. I'm super simp. They banked that man who was in a wheelchair. How do you get juice? How do you get props? How do you get credit on the street? Yeah, man, we beat up this man in the wheelchair. It took three of us and a woman. Yeah, we threw him to the ground. Got $800 off of man, got his cell phone. He lucky we ain't take his chair. Well, he had $800 on him and was holding it this time of the month. You think he was holding the money for the drug dealers? If that's the case, you think they're going to be happy that he lost that $800? He might not want to come out there. If he went to the hospital, he might not want to come out. He might have some people to answer to you. He could have been homeless. What being homeless, you out there hanging around a bunch of yo boys and running your mouth, knowing you can't walk. It's nighttime. You got nobody backing you up. Nia said, leave it to you to assume. Well, you explain. Why would a man be out there hanging out there on the corner with the boys that time of the night. And got $800 on him. Don't nobody on disability have no money this time of the month, Liz. He either holding that money for somebody, he holding it. Or he's selling. Don't nobody have that much money at the end of the month. Well, Nia, do you have a better hypotenuse? A better hypothesis? You have a better story? You know you can't walk. Why are you out there running your mouth? Baby, go sit down. Well, hold on, let's look at him again. Because y'all making excuses.
A man in a wheelchair was beaten up and robbed in the Bronx, and police want to find the people responsible. Surveillance video shows the attack November 8th around 2:30 in the morning at the corner of East Tremont and Anthony Avenues. Officers say the 39-year-old victim got into an argument with a woman on the sidewalk. Then she and 3 men attacked him, knocking him out of his wheelchair. You can see a person in a yellow jacket grab his backpack, which had his cell phone and $800. Police say the victim had some injuries but refused medical treatment. If you recognize the attackers in this video, call NYPD's Crime Stoppers hotline at 1-800-577-TIPS. Katie Johnston for CBSN, New York.
All right, it was reported today, but it happened on the 8th. That's still a lot of money to be holding. Hold on, Liz sent us a link. Go to Liz. This is from UK. I can't show the video, but I'll read it. Gabby Petito's fiance, Brian Laundrie, shot himself in the head, autopsy results show. Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed that the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head and the manner of death was suicide, the family's attorney, Steve Bertolino, said. Chris and Roberta are still mourning the loss of their son and are hopeful that these findings bring closure to both families. Laundrie remains were examined by forensic anthropologists in Sarasota County to try to determine its cause of death. No cause or manner of death was initially determined for Laundrie, who remains were discovered on October 20th by his parents and the FBI in Makahatchee Creek Environmental Park. The remains, which included part of a human skull, were discovered along with a backpack and a notebook in an area of the park previously submerged in water. The FBI confirmed Laundrie's identity the following day with the help of dental records. Authorities have also been trying to repair a personal notebook retrieved from a dry bag near his body as part of an investigation into the death of his girlfriend. I don't know what his fiance, Gabby Petito. Crucial to the investigation will be Laundrie's digital communications, including his texts and emails, use of social media, and internet browsing history prior to his death. Ms. Petito's family strongly suspect that Laundrie was impersonating her in text messages after her death to try to confuse them and the police. But the man got thrown to the ground. He didn't get back up there. So he committed suicide. So who was it that said when I said that he strangled her? If he didn't do it, why did he commit suicide? If he didn't do it, why did he commit suicide? Anybody want to tackle that one?
Breaking news now in the Grand Crossing neighborhood on the south side. 2 people have been shot at a barber shop at 71st and King Drive. Our crews just arrived. 1 person was shot inside, the other outside.
Yes, somebody did.
Their injuries, we are told
me I was
serious.
making
We'll
assumptions.
have more as we know it.
You don't know anything. I told y'all how he killed her. You just making up stuff. You're assuming stuff. I was right. Hey, isn't that Brandy? Heading to the story. I made the video. We're gonna have to go back a minute. What's the name of this video? I told y'all he strangled her. Come face the truth, BD family. That was shot on October 13th, 2021. She won't stop crying. Some of y'all would say, well, okay, well, if you sitting there stuck with her for a long period of time, you can get up and walk away. And that's what he should have done. He should have just got up and walked away. She wanted to get in the van. He should have got out of it. If he had to sit on the corner, on a wall somewhere over a cliff and look out, anything to get away from her, that's what he should have done. And he probably has done it many times. But that one time, was he drunk? Was he high? Did she push him too far? Where are the ladies at? Where's everybody at? Hello? Hello? Where everybody at? So we're talking about we don't have shows like that. Hey, Nia. Where's everybody? I want to talk. Because I told y'all what happened. Y'all try to tell me, oh, you trying to make scenarios. And I told you what happened. That hand went from right here to right here. That's what happened. Yeah, they're not saying nothing, no. Where all the people that were telling me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're making up scenarios. Where everybody at? Let's take a look. David, you don't sit down. Seriously. Ain't nobody call you? Like I said, nobody wouldn't say nothing. last night. I came back on last night. Where was everybody? I was here last night. Where was y'all at? I was here. Stop that screen shine. Let's go ahead and take a looky. My eyes still blurry from that what you call them, but I'm doing the best I can.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We want to begin with the revelation tonight from a coroner in Wyoming that Gabby Petito was strangled to death. The 22-year-old's body was found in Wyoming more than 3 weeks ago, just days after her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, disappeared. The coroner says Petito's body had been exposed to the elements and wildlife for several weeks before she was found. He did not offer many details. He wouldn't say if she was buried, but in response to a reporter's question, the coroner did reveal Petito was not pregnant. A toxicology report was done, but the results won't be released because of Wyoming laws. Laundrie is the only person interested in the case and remains the focus of an intense multi-state manhunt. His family says he went for a hike in a nature preserve in Florida nearly a month ago and hasn't been seen since. CBS's Manuel Bojorquez is going to lead us off tonight with shocking new details in the case. Good evening, Manny.
Good evening, Nora. Tonight, the family of Gabby Petito had no comment on the day's developments, a story that is largely unfolding in two states, here in Florida, where the search for Brian Laundrie continues, and in Wyoming, where the county coroner revealed the cause of death, manual strangulation and throttling.
In the manner of death of Gabrielle Lenora Petito, we find the cause and manner to be death by strangulation.
So let's speed up. Oh, relax your nerves. Know y'all heard that phrase before. And instead of saying, okay, I'm too much right now, I need to go off and do something else, you keep buzzing back around like a bee that won't get away from now. And there's a lot of women that do that. And y'all can jump on me all you want. You don't get whooped on this one. You can come on in here with your feelings. Because that's the kind of person where you say, everything is good. Just relax. When I see, make it better. Like, go sit down somewhere. Relax your nerves. Take it easy. Take a chill pill. Go walk around the block. Take the dog for a walk. Do something. Just you too much. And they still keep coming up in your face and coming up in your face and coming up in your face. This man was stuck in a van with her. Sometimes it must have felt like being in prison. But see, he was willing to pay that price to have that beautiful young lady. But at some points, the fact that people saw them fighting, that was starting to wear off. All the lovey-dovey and all that, it was starting to wear off. Because now he realized he got a basket case on his hands. And that he's engaged to her. He probably couldn't wait for that trip to be over. Or did he still say, but she's so pretty, I can deal with it. She come from a good family. I can deal with it. And it got to be too much. I believe that day or the next day after that police stop, I believe Gabby was done for. Then he flew home. He flew home to get ready for his escape because he knew he didn't hide the body that well and they would find it. he used her credit cards and her bank cards. He actually took her money. Well, I guess she couldn't do nothing with it because he killed her. What was you going to do? My scenario make more sense than anything that y'all said in the chat. And that's something that you can't. You can bring Davey into it. You can deflect all you want. The fact of the matter is, I called it. And I've been right the whole way. Tell me what I was wrong about. What I said makes sense. And not one person has broken down what I said. Not one person has broke down what I said. Oh, you're victim blaming in a thing. You weren't there. Give me a better scenario than what I said. I even told you how I think it happened. Actually, Gabby told you. I told you. The hand went from right here. Shut up. To going here. I answered the question, why he didn't walk off. Because when he come back, she gonna be in even worse shape. You're gone so long. You can't let me alone. I do something wrong. And get a fix it. Looking at you. I just left you. That makes sense. Tell me why it don't make sense. Tell me why it don't make sense. You keep saying, no, tell me why. See, I can tell you why. You can't tell me why. How come I can tell you why, but you can't tell me why? I made a hypothesis, and I was correct. I told you that he strangled her. No, he did. Yeah, I know. Well, he did. Then why he blow his brains out? Why he come back in the van without her? Why did he fly back? Why he didn't just go on the run? He was already out there. What he come on for? Should have drove that van to Mexico. Left it at the border. And went on down Tijuana somewhere. Brazil. And hit out. So we know he ain't got no sense. She a basket case and he ain't got no sense. Now you say I'm assuming. Tell me what I said don't make sense. Don't tell me what you feel. Don't tell me what you think. Tell me what you know. I used to have to drive people that got mental problems around. I'm not just talking out the side of my butt. Him going on that trip was not a good idea. He needed training. See, he could pass her off to somebody else. He could leave. I gave you the example of why some people shake babies to death. Long as there's somebody in the house or somebody next door or grandma or grandpa you can call and, you know, the child getting to me, can you take her for a few hours and let me go do something? But if there ain't nobody and the baby won't stop crying, most people turn the music up, put some headphones on, get some earplugs, but there's that like 1% that snaps. Why don't you stop? So you keep crying all the time. I changed you. I fed you. What the hell you keep crying for? You cry all the goddamn time. Before you know it, you done shook the baby and broke his neck. Before you know it. And that's what I told you. The evidence points to what happened. She plucked his nerves. You say victim shaming. It's not her fault. She is who she is. But if he was going to get engaged to a woman that had them kind of problems, he should have got the training, the counseling. He needs it because he's got to be able to deal. He's got to be able to deal with that kind of person. If you're going to date somebody in the wheelchair, you can't get mad because they can't go play baseball. You can't get mad because you want to go play soccer and they can't. I'm tired of you. We can't never do nothing. Can't go nowhere because you can't do nothing. You can't even stand up. You can't do nothing. I'm tired of carrying you up the steps. I'm tired of it. It could drive somebody. Now, y'all say what I said don't make sense, but you ain't broke. Give me a better scenario. Tell me why I say don't make sense. And don't tell me what you think. Tell me what you know. Don't tell me what you feel. Tell me what you know. Because the things that I told you came true. Debunk it. Saying what I say don't make sense when it do is not debunking it. Tell me why it don't make sense. I'm telling you, every fall, the leaves fall off the trees and have pretty colors. You don't know that. You're assuming. The leaves don't fall off every November. What are you talking about? Not every October, November. You crazy, Brother Derek. You crazy. Well, I can take you out there and I can show you the leaves on the ground. Well, still, it don't make no sense. But that's what y'all doing. Don't get mad.
Caught on camera, somebody driving on a sidewalk in Brooklyn. This happened this afternoon on Meserole Street in Williamsburg. A woman who saw this says the driver took to the sidewalk because there was a truck moving slowly on the street. She says she asked him, the sidewalk driver, to stop, but he just kept on going.
Well, y'all can't say nothing about me riding on the sidewalk. Y'all still ain't told me why what I said wasn't right when everything I said came true. Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Well, police are working to identify suspects in a shooting last night in North Philadelphia. A man was shot while driving his black Toyota Highlander on North Carlisle Street. Shortly thereafter, he crashed into a parked car. There is no word on the victim's condition. If you recognize the suspects or have any information, you're asked to contact police.
Ooh, this is from my city.
And then I just saw fire coming out of his room. I had to save my family.
Horrifying details from three brothers, 9, 11, and 13 years old, who woke up in a house full of smoke and flames everywhere. Robert woke up to his brother Sterling running and yelling for him to get up.
He busted the door open, and then he woke all of us up, and then we ran downstairs, and then he was saving everybody. And we ran downstairs, and that's how we got in the back door. He unlocked the door.
They were all at the house in East Baltimore for a cousin's sleepover before the holiday.
I heard screaming. I heard help, help.
As the boys were trying to escape, Jessica Waters from across the street was trying to kick in the back door. She helped several kids get out, then turned back to help more.
Came back to see if there was any more left. It was a baby flying out the window. And I just followed that baby and just caught him and took him over. They only had a pamper on. I took him over there. I wrapped him in a blanket.
That 2-year-old is one of 8 people who survived the fire.
Give us the peace.
A crowd gathered outside the home Monday to pray for the 3 family members who didn't make it out, a mom and 2 of her kids. Antoine was 12, a good student, respectful, and loved video games and football. 7-year-old Aubrey was always smiling and was a mama's girl. And their mother, Janice, was loving, and her stepmother says she always put her kids first.
If you met her, you couldn't do nothing but fall in love with her. Very happy spirit woman.
Give us understanding.
They were all beautiful people. They all had beautiful spirits. And they truly will be missed.
And so we know that there were working smoke detectors inside the home. The investigation into why and how this fire started is happening now. We also know that the 5 kids and the adult who were taken to the hospital this morning have been released from the hospital tonight. The Red Cross is helping the family with things like clothes, food, and Christmas gifts for the kids. There's also a GoFundMe page. We have a link to that on our website, WBALTV.com, and in the WBAL TV app. Reporting live in East Baltimore tonight, Kai Reed, WBAL TV 11 News.
Well,
Now I was talking to you. I told y'all we didn't cover the Rittenhouse trial. The young boy that shot the people doing a riot for no reason. When they didn't arrest him, and then they let him out and didn't know where he was. I already knew. There wasn't no need watching that trial. They won't let him off. For what? Good Old Boy Network. And guess what? I was right. So now y'all gonna tell me I'm not right, I wasn't right. Now we could have covered the trial because, like I said, Reggie was on the ground, boots on the ground, but like I said, I knew they were gonna let him off. So what we gonna sit there and waste our time covering that trial for getting flagged and all that other stuff, and they ain't gonna let him off? It's a waste of time. Let you kill 2 people and injure somebody else, and the cops tell you to come in, and you say, I'll be in when I want to. I need right then and there. 17-year-old boy walking around with a gun on his shoulder. I can't speak for your city, but let a 17-year-old come out here and walk through Baltimore City as a minority. How long you think will the police be on him? How many calls you think gonna go in?
A Dalton woman says her dream home came with an unexpected surprise, a huge unpaid water bill. Once she discovered the apparent error, things only got worse. CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozlov went straight to the village for answers.
Can I be honest with you, Liz? They want to let them people go so bad, but because Al Sharpton down there, Jesse Jackson down there, and the other religious people down there, I think they're afraid. But they don't want to prosecute none of them. So it's a toss-up. Are they going to try to get them boys off? Them men, I'm sorry. Are they going to try to get them off? I think it's too much. I'll be honest with you. It's a 50-50 chance they're going to walk. It's a 50-50 chance they're going to walk. 50-50 chance. Best case scenario, if they give the son 10 years, I'd be surprised. If they give him 5 to 10, I'd be surprised. Nia said psychic Bubba Darius. You asked me what I thought, and I said I told you. If they can find a way to get them boys off, they're going to do it. But with the press that the story's gotten, you notice that it went out the media for a while. And then it came back with the trial started, and nobody's really talking about it. That's letting me know that they hoping that nobody paying attention, and they're going to try and let them men go or give them real light sentences. Are they afraid of another riot? Will they give them like 1 to 5? Well, we gave them some time. Ain't you happy? Ain't you happy? No, we're not happy. We want to see 20-year sentences. Oh, no, we don't give them 20 years. No, you know. Hey, he was black. Hey, you know. He did have a record, you know. You know, he was running through a white neighborhood, you know. We'll have to wait and see. But somebody tell me what did I say that was wrong? I'll listen. I watched 5 minutes of the trial, and I knew. Today, I watched 2 minutes of it. So let me tell you what I saw in my 5 minutes. I even played it for y'all. One of the lawyers is crying about Jesse Jackson being in the courtroom. How many paths does this family have? Why is he worried about? I knew. I turned it on a day for a few minutes, just 2 minutes. What were the defense lawyers crying about today? They're trying to get a mistrial. You at the closing argument stage, and you're going to ask for a mistrial. So you went through all that testimony. Now you're going to ask for a mistrial. They let me know there's something going on in Georgia. They're going to have to get them boys something. If they don't want to ride, they're going to have to give them something. And what they give them, nobody's going to be satisfied with. So it is what it is. If they give them anything. But they might walk. Ava says they need to come, BD, when a murder case happened and he can give them the answers. Liz said, laugh out loud, yes, Ava. Liz says, no need for investigation. BD has all the answers. Liz said, they've been asking for mistrials the entire trial. I told you I've only seen 7 minutes of the trial. I didn't know that. But I know that it's weird that you at the end of it. Instead of getting up and doing your closing arguments, you trying to do a mistrial motion. So that ain't the first time they tried it. Damn, that's rough right there. The only things I've seen, the defense lawyers crying about Jesse Jackson being there. That let me know that they feeling the heat. That let me know that they concerned. But are they bold enough to try and let them men off? Are they bold enough? I don't think so. What do y'all think? I don't think they're bold enough. What do y'all think? The fact that the case was given, the prosecutor, the McMichael father used to be an investigator for her. She sat on the case, didn't do nothing, didn't pass it off to somebody else who didn't do nothing. Outside people had to come in and take up the case. This story been tainted from the go. Ava says it's more to it than that, BD. He said it's up to the jury. Well, I already told you what I think. I think the heat is on. And see, the problem is the Rittenhouse boy. I don't believe the people. I don't think the people that he hurt and killed were black. So there's no racial tone to it. But this Aubrey case is. I can see them saying, I saw him on the stand. Actually, I think I played it. Him on the stand. So wait a minute. I seen more than 7 minutes. I seen a couple minutes of him on the stand talking about how he was loaning people his bulletproof vest and explaining why he had to buy a new sling to hold the rifle on his back so that when he bent down to help somebody, he didn't sit the rifle on the ground for somebody to pick up and walk away with. I'm like, why is a 17-year-old walking around with a damn rifle? And nobody not saying nothing. Something ain't adding up. Now, like I say, I don't live in that state. But I know if I put a gun over my shoulder and get on that bike, I ain't gonna make it too far where the cops come pull me over. Now, maybe down in Texas and Oklahoma you can do that. I didn't know you could do that. In Minnesota and Wisconsin, I didn't know that.
For 6 years, water in Trina Downs' Dalton home has been the source of all her headaches. Not the actual liquid itself, but what it's cost her.
The more I paid, the more of a problem I had.
A problem with her water bill, a big gushing one that
They wouldn't let black COs deal with the cop killer of Floyd George. It's amazing that they got any time. That's why I said the racial issue is going to make them have to do something to those three men. Best case scenario, they get 1 in 10 years. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, they walk. Have people seen the video so many times, like in the Rodney King case, that they become immune to it? Well, the father was a former cop. Well, why didn't he stop? Why did he keep running? He was running. He must have been doing something wrong. Why he didn't just stop? Why was he fighting with the younger McMichael over the shotgun? You know, maybe he deserved to get shot, you know? The more times you see something, the less horrific it is. Just like the jury that saw them beating Rodney King up. When you first see it, this is ridiculous. Why would this go on? And then you see it a couple, 30, 40 times, well, he kept resisting, they had to do something. He's a big black man, he could hurt them, they had to do something. They had to keep hitting them. It's not abuse. I wouldn't want that man touching me. Or they had to keep hitting them. This is what the human mind does. It starts to rationalize, and you learn to accept what you see and let it be like whatever. The same way when you learn how to read and you happen to pick up the paper and you see the police blotter and you say, wow, all this stuff happens. By the time you're an adult, I didn't know him. Yeah, you hear about the guy that got killed last week? Yeah, last night. I didn't know him. Nah, whatever. You get to the point that it don't faze you. And that's the danger. Because now we got the media. And the people can see it. But sometimes seeing it is worse than not seeing it. Because you keep watching it over and over again. It's like whatever. Whatever. Did anybody have any comments on what I just said? About people getting desensitized. Look at the news stories that we look at every day. It takes something really awful for y'all to even comment. I showed y'all the video about the young father getting shot while his baby son was in his arms and the baby got shot too. Only one person said something. What kind of evil person would shoot somebody holding an innocent baby? You couldn't shoot him when he wasn't holding the baby? You couldn't wait for him to put the baby down? We in terrible times right now. We are. But the truth of the matter is, life go on. Is this story even worth finishing?
She didn't discover until 2015.
No, I did not start at zero.
4 years after buying her house and paying her quarterly water bill, the tip-off,
They still
suddenly getting a miscellaneous bill for more than $1,000.
make a payment.
That's when she demanded a detailed billing statement and discovered she'd inherited
I was not aware of it.
a $2,400 water bill with the property, even though she says her closing documents show she bought the house free and clear.
They had the stamp from the village. I had an attorney close with me, and everything was paid. Some of my dishes.
Downs has spent years fighting to get her account straightened out and the money she says she's owed.
Can you tell me why they called the police on me?
Dalton officials even called police on her when she went to the village's payment center to get answers in 2019. She's filed complaints with Cook County's Inspector General, Illinois' Attorney General, and court action with no resolution.
Right now, I'm not paying them until I receive a refund for what is owed.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard's assistant got back to us and says this issue goes back to a prior administration, but current village staff has already met with Downs twice, and they're going over her account to make sure she's only responsible for water that she's used. When they determine that, they'll meet with her again. But it's not clear how many weeks, months, or years that will take. In Dalton, Dana Kozlov, CBS 2 News.
That's a daggone shame. So now you know when you buy a house, the same way when you buy a car. If you buy a car off somebody, the worst thing you could do is let them keep their tags on it. When you buy a house, you make sure the water bill clear. You make sure an electric bill is not there. You make sure there ain't no property taxes, because you could inherit that bill. You make sure all that's clear before you agree to buy a house.
This was not an accident. That's what the family of a Chicago police officer shot and killed allegedly by his wife, also a Chicago cop, is saying tonight. They protested outside of her court hearing this morning. CBS 2's investigator Megan Hickey joins us live. And Megan, they think the justice system is going light on her.
Right, Erica, Officer Jacqueline Villasenor is out on bond charged with involuntary manslaughter in the death of her husband. But his family says this shouldn't be treated as one big accident, and they say it could have been prevented.
44-year-old Germán Villasenor was given a solemn hero's send-off earlier this month. At his funeral, his parents, granted a brief entry into the U.S. from Mexico, were presented with a Chicago flag. His heartbroken fellow officers served as pallbearers. But following close behind down the aisle was the person who prosecutors say was responsible for pulling the trigger, his wife, fellow officer Jacqueline Villasenor.
Since they told me and I came inside the house, I saw the room. No, this is not an accident. No. And they need to be justice.
Germán's aunt Blanca Nina tells me she questions the account told in court that Jacqueline and Germán were in their bedroom on November 2nd, arguing over a recent affair when she grabbed her weapon from her holster and threatened to kill herself. Prosecutors said Germán tried to grab the weapon and the couple began struggling when the gun went off and Germán was shot in the chest. It appeared Jacqueline had been drinking alcohol, but she declined to be tested.
She needs to be held accountable and she needs to be locked up, plain and simple.
Herman's uncle was stunned by the charge of involuntary manslaughter and the fact that she paid $5,000 to bound out without electronic monitoring.
We're asking that she should have an ankle monitor on her. If they know alcohol was involved, there should be an ankle monitor on her. Again, investigating it to the full extent of the law.
Julie Contreras with the community organization United Giving Hope worries that Herman, a person of color, wouldn't have been treated the same way if the roles were reversed. They're planning to watch this case closely, as will some of Herman's fellow officers who stood by in solidarity.
This was criminal activity that she did, and that's unacceptable.
Today, a spokesperson for the Cook County State's Attorney's Office told me she could not comment because of pending litigation. Villaseñor was back in court today, but her hearing was pushed to December 2nd. Herman's family says they will be there, this time standing outside in prayer. Erica?
Megan, thank you.
Here goes Shane. Three hours ago, out of my
Baltimore
city.
County State's Attorney is sharing his frustration over the sentence of a former cop that he received.
Yeah, the man was sentenced to 4 years in home detention for raping a woman and 1 day in jail for assaulting another. WMAR2 News' Brittany Werner joins us now in studio tonight. And Brittany, the state's attorney says he believes this sends the wrong message to other people who commit these types of crimes.
That's right. State's Attorney Scott Schellenberger says not only does it send the wrong message to criminals who may think about raping someone, but it sends the wrong message to those victims that share their stories, saying their stories don't matter.
This was a very serious offense. He attacked a woman who was clearly intoxicated.
Anthony Westerman is a former Baltimore County police officer who had been convicted of 2 counts of rape. One incident happened in October of 2017. Another occurred in June of 2019.
He told her he was going to have her dropped off at her house, and he had her taken to his house, and she was unconscious. When she woke up, he was on top of her, sexually assaulting her.
After a trial in August of 2021, Westerman was convicted of 2 counts of second-degree rape, third-degree sexual offense, and fourth-degree sexual assault. And on Friday, Judge Keith Truffer says he made a mistake and only intended to convict Westerman on 1 of 2 rape counts.
I think that factored into it. I think the judge was concerned about Westerman's safety in the Division of Correction if he went there. But Westerman should have thought of that before he committed the crime, not after it's all over with and he's convicted.
On Friday, Judge Truffer sentenced Westerman to 4 years of in-home detention for one of the assaults and just 1 day of jail time for the other assault. This comes after Judge Truffer determined there was not any evidence of psychological injury to the victim, despite the fact she received therapy after the attack. It's a sentence that shocked many, and Schellenberger says it was a slap on the wrist.
When you're serving a second-degree rape conviction and you're at your own home, that's a slap on the wrist. I think it certainly sends a message that that if you commit an offense like this and then end up in front of this judge, you may end up doing your time sitting on your couch at home watching TV.
And in addition to sending the wrong message to those committing the crimes, Amanda Rodriguez, who's a sexual assault advocate for Turnaround Inc., says this sends the wrong message to the victims as well.
That every survivor experiences trauma differently, and especially sexual violence, which is such an intimate and personal thing. And so to say that it didn't show up the way that we expected it to, or it didn't show up at all, is likely not, it is untrue. The reality is that a victim is not to blame for something that was caused against them.
And Schellenberger agrees.
But I think worse than that is it sends a message to sexual assault victims that their story doesn't matter, and that when they come forward, go into an open courtroom, testify to these very difficult facts, and then have virtually nothing happen, I think it will definitely hurt victims from coming forward again.
Man raping women and he's home watching
This
TV.
was not an accident. That's what
He's home watching TV. 1 hour ago, breaking news.
Fed up Chicago business owners are going directly to the state's attorney, Kim Foxx. They want answers about violent crime. Their big question, why do repeat offenders appear to be getting back on the street so easily? Tara Molina joins us live from The Loop. And Tara, there was a sit down today with Kim Foxx and members of her office.
Right, Erica, with the city's business community, everyone is concerned about safety. That's really number one here. But the point that they wanted to get across to the state's attorney, the way that criminals are handled here in Chicago not only affects the entire city, it affects its bottom line. Flashing lights, police tape, and blocked off crime scenes. Images members of the city's business community say are all too common across Chicago's 77 neighborhoods and 22 police districts.
And we want to be the voice for every neighborhood.
But it's not just the uptick in crime that has business leaders concerned, calling a meeting with state's attorney Kim Foxx. It's what happens when the CPD cruisers leave and the tape comes down, especially when dealing with repeat offenders.
Whether it be gun violence, shoplifting, carjacking, and why it takes so long for someone to be doing a good amount of time. Otherwise, there's no consequences of the crime.
In Maureen Martino's case, we're talking about Lakeview's East Chamber of Commerce, telling me if something doesn't change,
People will not want to invest. Certainly retailers are moving out, and we have to look at what we can do to keep the vibrancy of our neighborhoods.
there's some of the same concerns Jaime DePaulo with the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce shared with us and the state's attorney.
We have to close down earlier. We have to put more cameras. And frankly, criminals are not afraid of anything. The more cameras, they don't care.
Their worries reflected in the numbers. We pulled the latest crime stats and they show murder is at its highest rate citywide since 2017. So far, just this year, there are 4,032 shooting victims in the city. We ran the numbers back to 2010. It's the highest we've seen. But when it comes to change, they say the state's attorney brought up a stronger partnership with CPD as a solution to the repeat offender issue.
If our state attorney embeds her office into the police with the police commanders and they can identify the criminal and as a repeat offender, and then they know who the danger to society and we can keep them off the streets. That's the goal.
But the state's attorney's office did not address that goal with us despite our questions, only telling me the meeting was productive. They hope to have them more regularly, all to showcase Chicago as the world-class city it is. Reporting live downtown, I'm Tara Molina, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Tara.
World-class city or the depth zone? Fox. Fox. Breaking news, too. What?
This is Reggie Randolph, seen with his daughter in a photo taken back in 2016 during one of his brief stretches of freedom in between recurring stints at Rikers Island Jail. In fact, this 5-year-old photo is the most recent image available of Reggie, his time and energy, not to mention relationships with loved ones.
My health situation is not good.
All drained, whittled away by the effects of drug addiction, mental illness, and a myriad of medical issues, including pulmonary disease, asthma, and failing eyesight.
I'm partially blind in my right eye, and I'm going blind in my left eye.
Reggie, now 58 years old, recently called us from Rikers.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored for law enforcement purposes.
To discuss how, in his opinion, his case has been mishandled by the criminal justice system instead of being treated in a healthcare setting as an addict, medical, and mental health patient.
This place treats you like you're an animal.
Under his current criminal case, Reggie Randolph has so far spent more than 850 days on Rikers Island. The original offenses?
NyQuil Severe delivers maximum symptom-fighting ingredients.
Stealing NyQuil cold medication from 2 Manhattan Duane Reade pharmacy locations. In August, a judge officially sentenced Reggie to 2 to 4 years in state prison. Again, after stealing NyQuil.
If you are watching this story and asking yourself, how on earth could someone end up serving more than 2 years behind bars for stealing NyQuil from a neighborhood pharmacy? Well, the answer is literally baked into our criminal justice system. Over the years, prosecutors and judges needed only look to laws that were already on the books to determine what the next step should be for Reginald Randolph. Laws which do not take into account his medical, mental health, or substance abuse issues.
Judge Corey Weston, a former legal aid attorney, seemingly acknowledged even her hands were tied when she addressed Reggie during his August sentencing. Quote, "And I know that you have done a substantial amount of time, so I hope that while you are still in there, you can get some help for your drug problem. This is never a happy day for me when I have to sentence someone."
I feel like I'm being over-prosecuted for the crime.
There are going to be people who are going to watch your story and they're going to say, well, he did this more than once and he was told that he was not supposed to do it again.
I understand. I'm telling the councilman I understand. However, the crimes I committed, it was pedalosity. With this Manhattan District Attorney's Office, they upgraded the charges to burglary in the 3rd degree.
Prosecutors working under outgoing Manhattan DA Cy Vance chose to upgrade his criminal case to include felony charges due to Reggie's past criminal history, which includes 5 felony convictions between the mid-1980s to 2005. The rest of Reggie's criminal record consists of more than 53 misdemeanor convictions for nonviolent theft and drug possession charges.
You've been incarcerated for how many years on and off?
41 years of conflict and violence growing up.
Reggie does not deny his past and says his decades-long criminal history is directly tied to a decades-long drug addiction. Reggie is represented by Legal Aid Society attorney Jeffrey Berman.
The system has become totally desensitized to people's pain and suffering. And Reginald Randolph was arrested for stealing NyQuil.
In part 2 of our story, a closer look at the growing number of people in custody in New York City, people with drug and mental health issues who are struggling to manage their recovery behind bars. Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.
And you can watch part 2 of this exclusive story coming up on the Pix 11.
I'm sorry, I played that. Seriously.
We know the problem. Car break-ins are a huge concern for San Francisco. For locals and tourists, smash and grabs have exploded in numbers this year.
Yeah, they are relentless, expensive, and really seem unmanageable. But why? And who's to blame? As far as the police and the DA, they're pointing fingers at each other. Tonight, senior investigative reporter Begad Shaban takes us for a ride in the city's hardest hit neighborhoods.
It happens fast, very fast. Just 7 seconds, and they're gone. In San Francisco, cars are broken into an average of 74 times a day. And there is nowhere harder hit than the northeast part of the city. Fisherman's Wharf, Chinatown, and Union Square. The area is home to the city's biggest attractions and largest spike in car break-ins. 187% increase compared to last year. On nearby Beach Street, the roads often glisten with broken glass.
By a show of hands, how many of you have seen a car break-in on this block?
I mean, it's hard not to see them.
It's hard not to see them.
It happens so frequently. All you have to do is stand out there for 10 minutes. You'll see one. It's no mystery.
To understand the impact on this neighborhood, we sat down with 5 local business owners.
Brian Huber, Andrew England.
My name is David Burby.
Samantha Davis.
My name is Jeff Sears. I own Blazing Saddles Bike Rentals and Tours.
Jeff Sears has been running his shop in the area for 35 years.
Is this the worst you've seen it?
By far the worst. By far the worst.
I'm worried that we're getting too accustomed to it and we're almost allowing it to happen.
Andrew England now has a lengthy list of all the getaway cars he's seen speed off after a break-in.
It certainly seems like it's an organized crew. I see a lot of the same vehicles, maybe changing their license plate, but you can tell it's the same vehicle.
What's the most amount of car break-ins you think you've seen in a single day?
I've seen 10.
10?
I've seen 10, yeah.
It's also heartbreaking to think that this is a visitor's first or last impression of a great city.
Those people are going back to wherever they're from, and the story they're going to tell about the city is that, hey, we were parked in a very public spot in the middle of the day. We were 20 feet away from our car having lunch, and we watched it get broken into.
And that's happened multiple times.
David Burby owns 29 businesses, including restaurants and retail stores in 11 cities throughout California.
Have you ever experienced anything like what you're seeing now here in San Francisco?
San Francisco has become completely lawless. It's really breathtaking. I mean, I don't see it anywhere in any other cities that we conduct business in.
So far this year, more than 17,000 car break-ins have been reported in San Francisco. When you adjust for population, that's nearly double the rates in Atlanta and DC, and roughly triple Houston and Los Angeles, according to data obtained and analyzed by our investigative unit.
How did we get to this point? San Francisco, one of the richest places in the world, the tech capital of the universe. How did we get here?
We're stuck here because of a lot of finger pointing, whether it's between the SFPD, DA's office, back and forth. And it gets frustrating to hear officials say they can't do anything about it.
We had a huge uptick.
Michael Redmond is San Francisco's assistant police chief, overseeing the department's investigations bureau and all 10 of the city's police districts.
We're starting to see some strides and make some strides around car break-ins.
What do you say to those who argue, what do you mean you're making strides? We're still seeing huge spikes.
Yeah, I think it's tough because we look at the numbers, but the numbers don't tell the whole story either. But it's still higher. It's not a place where we want to be as a department.
Redmond says they've added more officers in the area, but agrees with an outside consultant that found the department of roughly 1,700 officers still needs an additional 473 cops to adequately patrol the city.
Police also tell us one of the reasons car break-ins appear to be spiking so much this year is because they hit record lows during the start of the pandemic last year. There weren't as many tourists in town, who were often the main targets. But despite all of that, car break-ins are still one of the most frequent crimes across the city.
We have a certain amount of prolific offenders that are out there committing the crimes on a day-to-day basis.
Over the last 2 years, at least 14 people have been arrested 3 or more times for committing car break-ins in San Francisco, according to police records. Of those, one person alone has been arrested 18 times and is currently on supervised custody with an ankle monitor.
Right now, we don't see a lot of consequences for doing it.
Who's to blame for that?
Well, I think it's the transition of the criminal justice system, wanting to keep people, trying to help people. When it comes to the point where we keep seeing the repeat type of activities, there has to be a stiffer consequence.
Redmond says those tougher penalties should be coming from the district attorney's office. The DA, Chesa Boudin, ran on a campaign promising to end mass incarceration in San Francisco. Since June, we've been asking him to sit down with us to explain how he decides to either prosecute, drop, or reduce criminal charges against suspects. But he won't answer questions from our investigative unit. Instead, a spokesperson for the DA's office sent us a statement pointing the finger back at police, saying SFPD only makes an arrest in less than 2% of all car break-in cases. But for every 10 arrests officers do make, the DA's office says it files criminal charges against 8 of those people. And then of those prosecutions, about 6 people get convicted. The DA's office says their sentences involve incarceration 100% of the time.
But sources, including current and former attorneys at the DA's office, say that whole 100% incarceration rate reference is misleading. Because for nearly all of those defendants, sentences only include time already served, which often is just the couple of hours it took to book the suspect after the arrest, even though state law allows for up to 3 years in jail for committing a car break-in.
We asked the DA's office for more details on specific charges and sentences that have been handed down for car break-ins, but they told us they're unable to provide that.
Do you take issue with the district attorney's office insinuating that you all could be doing more?
Well, I think they're a law enforcement agency as well. They have to work with us. Their responsibility is to the citizens of the city and people visiting the city. We're going to keep pushing forward and trying to hold them accountable, to hold the prolific burglars accountable for the crimes that they're committing.
As San Francisco continues to grapple with a global health crisis, some say rampant crime is creating an economic pandemic.
There are many businesses on the brink right now, and if things don't change fast, they're going to fail and not come back.
So what is being done right now here in San Francisco to put the brakes on car break-ins? We rode along with undercover officers to find out how they're attacking a problem that has plagued the city for years.
Move in, uniforms moving in.
Plus, we are digging deeper to find out what really happens to the accused after they're arrested. We are staying on top of this story, and we are going to have all of that for you in the coming weeks. So stay tuned. With the investigative unit, I'm Pigat Chaban.
Okay.
But we start with yet another wild video of thieves ransacking a Bay Area business. Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Cook.
I'm Alan Martin. The video shows dozens of crooks wiping out an East Bay pharmacy. KPIX5's Wilson Walker live in Piedmont with the other location criminals targeted. Wilson?
Alan, department and jewelry stores, cannabis dispensaries. There's a list of targets that we saw over this weekend. And once again, yes, one of them, pharmacies.
You know, they tell you, like I said, they're going to go over to Alameda, go down the street, and then all of them all have to be verified. And here we are right before Thanksgiving.
David Massey was one of those who showed up at the Walgreens on High Street today, only to find the pharmacy closed after a robbery on Sunday.
I've got cancer, so I'm trying to get certain medications filled, and they tell you to go to another Walgreens.
On Saturday night, it was the Wellspring Pharmacy on Piedmont Avenue, which was open today, but surveillance video, which was sped up by the pharmacy owners, shows the crowd that descended on the store on Saturday. And this, of course, just one of the businesses hit by a mob of thieves over the weekend.
At least 24 businesses were impacted with roving caravans of vehicles targeting cannabis operations, retail shops, pharmacies throughout the city of Oakland.
This is not the first time pharmacies have been targeted during outbreaks of retail theft, but it's a crime that can create serious hardship for those already struggling. Massey was coming straight from a doctor's appointment today.
This is the third time that I know that they've been broken into. It hurts us all, especially the little guy that really needs it, you know?
That this city had to deal with overwhelming violence in its community over the weekend, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable for our residents. It's unacceptable for our visitors. Nobody should have to live through this.
All right, so pharmacies, one target over the course of the weekend, but police were very clear when they spoke this afternoon that it was the attacks, to use a word, I'm not sure what you call it, but the raids on the cannabis dispensaries that resulted in most of the gunfire being exchanged. So any number of different kinds of things unfolding over the weekend. Pharmacies, just one part of it. We're live here in Piedmont. Wilson Walker, KPIX5.
Breaking news.
Governor's calling violence around Baltimore just heartbreaking and completely unacceptable. And he's putting more focus on fighting that crime. But the plan is causing a little bit of tension between the governor, city leaders, and some state politicians.
WMAR 2 News' Kendall Green is live for us in downtown Baltimore tonight. So, Kendall, do city leaders see this as a political fight over crime fighting?
Well, Jamie and Kelly, you can see it two ways. You can see it as a governor and a mayor who come from two opposing political parties, or you can see it as two people with a mutual interest in addressing Baltimore's most pressing issue, which is violent crime.
This horrifying violence is tearing Baltimore City apart, and enough is enough.
Strong words from Governor Larry Hogan, making note of some of the brazen violence recently breaking hearts across Baltimore, like the murder of Miss Evelyn Player, the killing of a 13-year-old girl at a rec center, and 2 barbers gunned down in their own shops.
It's heartbreaking, and it's completely unacceptable.
Saying Baltimore residents are growing desperate for answers and action, not excuses. Last week, the governor directed state police agencies to provide additional assistance to BPD, initiating more than 550 enhanced patrols in the city within the last 5 days.
That partnership has always been something that's been fruitful for us, even from my time as a council person.
There's plenty of blame to go around for the lawlessness and violence in Baltimore, but now is not the time for finger pointing or excuses.
But that statement was followed by some finger pointing at State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby.
We also need a prosecutor who will actually prosecute violent criminals.
The governor says he's directing the Office of Crime Prevention, Youth and Victim Services to conduct a top-to-bottom evaluation of all funding provided to the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office, putting a pause on the office's state funding, which will remain pending and under review until her office provides complete data regarding the number of cases they've chosen not to prosecute and why, number of cases pled down to lesser charges, and the number of violent offenders that were given plea deals.
For me, my way to pull everyone together is to restart the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, which both the governor and his folks and the state's attorney and her folks are a part of. That's the way I will have my conversations with the two of them.
Quite candidly, he's been more concerned with pointing the finger at everyone else as opposed to actually leading and delivering for a city that is the heartbeat of this state. Just as he's done in the past, today's press conference was a political stunt with no basis whatsoever to call me or my office out.
In 2021, a staggering 82% of homicide suspects had a prior criminal record. Nearly half had prior gun-related charges and had prior arrest for a crime of violence.
Every single part of our justice system and public safety system has some of responsibility for things that need to be fixed.
Now, Governor Hogan will be introducing emergency legislation as early as next month. Now, Governor Hogan and Mayor Scott have both expressed interest in meeting again. And as soon as we have a timeline on that date and where it'll happen, we'll update you both on air and online at WMAR2news.com. Reporting in downtown Baltimore, Kendall Green, WMAR2 News.
All right. That's my city. The governor saying it's getting ridiculous.
But we start with yet another.
You know, you think you're hard. One thing is, so how about we're going that direction. I don't like that. You gotta get moving.
The rounds that I fit were complete at will. Time at a standstill, but I release it. I got it like that. So don't step with me. It gets out this way, and that gives another.
All right, y'all ready to get on the move? Is it getting loose? That could be it. In my hand, you don't you? How you doing? Oh, there we go. Look at this. Got everybody out here. Got everybody out here. Come on, Becca. I got them. You on up this hill, girl. Let's go. What are you doing? Thank you. All right, y'all. We're going to the art place to pick up my prescription. Chico, anybody coming? Yep. Let's go. You got a box in the middle of the street. You see anything in it? Yep, look, one thing I knew it. I was gonna change the song. So no, you can't. Yep. That's right. that's me riding Bessie, the Pesolak PX5. And my coupon, I can get you that bike at a good price. Let me show you. It comes in white, but I have the black one. And you just saw me ride it. Let me show it to you. This is the Pesolak PX5. 7-speed Shimano shifter. Mechanical disc brakes. It comes with front suspension, and it has a seat post suspension for the rear. It has a rack, fenders, headlight, tail light, 10.4 amp hour battery, 20-inch by 4-inch wide tires. Y'all just seen me ride this bike. You know it's a good bike. Let me get you the link for it. There's the link. Here's the coupon code. There's the link. There's my coupon code. Let me show you what to do. Scroll down, you hit buy now. They asking $11.99. Put my coupon code in. I can get you this bike. Oh crap. I forgot to copy the link. Hold on, I type it in. Hold on. Coupon code in. Water Dark PX5. You can get the bike for $9.99. You can get this bike for $9.99. You just saw me ride it. And you see how good the bike is. If you got a couple more dollars, I would suggest you get this. This is the king of the foldables right here. You just saw me riding the PX5. This is the upgrade. When Pesolak do an upgrade, they're doing big. This doesn't have mechanical brakes. This has hydraulic car-like brakes. Doesn't have a 10.4 amp hour battery. It has a 12. That's an upgrade. Doesn't have a 7-speed Shimano shifter. Turning, it has an 8-speed Altus Shimano shifter. Upgrade. Look at that heavy-duty rack. Upgrade. It's got a color display. Upgrade. But the biggest upgrade, doesn't have seat post suspension. It has front suspension and rear whole frame suspension. Which means it's a softer ride. And you need that suspension. You need that bigger battery, and you need the hydraulic car-like brakes because this has a 750 watt motor, not a 500 watt motor. The bike you saw me riding was a 500 watt motor. And you see how good it is. This is a 750 watt motor. It can peak at almost 1100. So if you think the PX5 is good, I can't wait to ride a PX6. This is an upgrade. You got a couple more dollars. I know that $9.99 sounds attractive, and you see how good the PX5 is. You see how good Bessie is. Let me get you the link for the PX6, the upgrade. You got a couple more dollars. You need to treat yourself. Or treat somebody in your family to the best foldable. Fold it up and put it in the back of your car. Take it to work, fold it up, put it under your desk. Oops. Here's the link for the PS6. And here's my coupon code. Let me show you what you do with it. Oh, and we also have it in black. And let me let y'all check it out. Look how beautiful that black is. 750 watt motor back there. Look at that heavy duty rack. 12 amp hour battery. Front suspension, and look at that frame suspension. Hydraulic brakes. Color display. Front headlight. Rear tail light. It's attached to the battery. You don't have to worry about getting no double A's or USB charger. It comes with a rear reflector and it comes with a rear light. And when you hit the brakes, let everybody know behind you stopping. That's 750 watt motor. The 500 is enough. And you see how it rides me around. Can you imagine what the 750 watt can do? If you see what the 500 watt can do, can you imagine the 750 watt? They're asking $15.99. You use my coupon, I can get you this bike for $12.99. $9.99. But if you want the bigger motor, the hydraulic brakes, the bigger battery, the color display, the 8-speed Altus Shimano shifter, you want these things, you'll pay the extra $300. But I can get you that bike for $12.99. I think that's the best value. But if you don't want a foldable, let me take you to the Pedelec GS9. See, it comes in gray and orange. It also comes in this black and orange. Now, some of you would say, well, okay, that's not an e-bike. Yes, it is. They got a 500 watt motor back there that can peak at almost 800. But check it out, 27.5 inch, 2.8 inch wide tires. Tires are almost 3 inches wide. Look at that beautiful bike. Does not look like an e-bike. Look how clean it is. The lines are clean on it. So nothing about this bike say e-bike. It's got a color display. It's got front suspension and it got that flex suspension in the rear. I've never ridden one of these, but I've sat on one. Very comfortable. It's got a 8-speed Shimano shifter. It's got hydraulic brakes, 13 amp hour battery. Look at this beautiful bike. You imagine taking this to work, taking this to the store, going out to the parks. You can ride on the sidewalk and nobody will say nothing to you because it don't look like an e-bike, it look like a regular bike. They won't know you riding an e-bike, but you don't. Here's the link for the GS9. Let me get you the code. You copy it. Let me put it in the chat. Here's my coupon code. Let me take you to the back and show you what you do with it. Also comes in the black and orange. If you like that. They got 111 units ready to go. And that's good. So check it out. They're asking $14.99. You won't pay $14.99 with my coupon. You pay $11.99. $11.99. That's a steal. So you can get the foldable for $12.99 and get the 750 watt motor. But if you like the beauty of this, hey, this is $100 cheaper. But if you like those features, the hydraulic brakes, the full suspension, if you think this bike is pretty, let me show you. Let me show you the queen of the hill. The upgrade to the GS9 is the GS9 Plus. And you ain't got to be blind. All you gotta do is look. All you gotta do is look. Look at that beautiful e-bike. Look at it. Look how clean it is. Here we go, Sam. I got one right here. I can tell you, it's a pleasure to ride. Those 26-inch, 4-inch wide fat tire. That 9-speed Shimano shifter. It's got full suspension. Look at that fresh frame suspension. It's got a 14.5 amp hour battery, color display. But what makes this the queen of the hill? Well, if you ain't noticed the tires, that should tell you something. But also, check it out. You know what else this bike has? This bike has a 750 watt motor that can peak at almost 1100. It's got a 750 watt motor. I say it again, it's got a 750 watt motor. This is the mother load. And it don't look like an e-bike. Look how clean this bike is. Look at it. There ain't no controller hanging out. There ain't no battery hanging out. Nobody will know you got an e-bike unless you ride by it without pedaling. They're gonna say, hey, they're electric. That's all people ask me. Is that bike electric? Is that bike electric? Is that bike electric? Let me give y'all the link so you can get that sexy bike. And it is sexy. And put the coupon code in. Oops. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting tired. Hope y'all show up to the Bible study tomorrow. Copy that. Here's my coupon code to get you the queen of the hill. Let me show you what you do with it. They asking $16.99. They asking $16.99. But check this out. You use my coupon code. Check it out. You can get this bike for $14.99. 26-inch, 4-inch wide fat tire, full suspension, 9-speed shifter, hydraulic brakes, 750 watt motor that can peak at almost 1100. Color display. This bike got everything. This bike got everything. If you need a rack, you can get one off of Amazon. I got one for $13.46, and I have it on there now. This the queen of the hill. I can get you this bike for $14.99. All right, those are the e-bikes. We got that in. Thanks to everybody who rocked with me today. I appreciate it. To the family members that donated, thank you. I'm going to have a nice little Thanksgiving dinner. Matter of fact, I'm going to go in there and eat. I'm gonna eat half of this rotisserie chicken. I'm gonna eat the other half tomorrow night. Gonna go ahead and have me some potato salad and some rice pilaf. And I still got 2 pieces of chicken that I cooked. I still got 2 pieces of chicken that's in the refrigerator. I'll heat that up. So you see, I got apples, oranges. I got my graham crackers, and I got my sugar-free candy. So we're going here, watch a little TV. I'm not gonna be able to blast the sound system, but I spent the day on the phone with Walgreens and Medicare and Davis Vision and the eyeglass place. So we really didn't get to play anything. But I'll do something tomorrow before the sermon. I might come on early to push the bikes during the day. And we still gotta watch the bike footage. But I don't plan on going anywhere. I don't plan on going anywhere for the next 2 days. But if I decide to go for a bike ride, I might take Marsha out. But that's why we hit the market. So we don't have to get out there and be involved in that Thanksgiving shenanigans. Y'all know what I'm talking about. People get crazy. Yeah, they get crazy around this time of the year. You know. So, like I said, we was able to get to pay the $50, and we got the prescription. It's in my back pocket. I showed it to y'all on the live stream. And I got them to order the contacts, and I got a better deal than I would have got if I'd done it myself. Because it seemed like every good package was $64. So the fact that for $64, I got a 6-month supply. I mean, for 104, I got a 6-month supply. Whereas I would have only had a 45-day supply. I know 6 times 6 is 36. So that would have been 360 a day. I mean, 360 day versus a 90 day. So I'm excited about that. And I ain't got to take them out every night. But they're supposed to last 6 months. So the insurance company is going to pay the $100, and all I got to do is pay $4. So they should be ready next week. We got that done. I got the insulin. Even though I paid double the money, I was able to get 2 extra boxes. So I won't have to get insulin next month. So I paid the $10 for next month, this month. So we made out on that. I got my holiday food. So when I get off the live stream, I can have me a nice little dinner. Once again, thanks to the person who donated to help me out. And all right, y'all. I've been going to bed earlier, so hopefully I can stay up to 12 and watch TV and then fall asleep and go in here and heat this rotisserie. We got to roll it out. I'm gonna heat this rotisserie chicken up, and I'm gonna take the potato salad out because I had it in the fridge. You ain't supposed to leave potato salad out. I got one of the rotisseries in the fridge. I mean in the microwave. So I'm gonna heat that up. And like I said, I'll probably eat half of it tonight. I'll eat the other half tomorrow night. Don't forget, we got Bible study. I think we had Matthew 28:29. If somebody want to go cheat ahead so y'all can ask questions. But like I said, I'll probably come live during the day and show the bike footage. I gave you a little sample of it today. But we did a lot of riding today. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to do it. Beat walking. So I feel blessed. So all right, y'all, as Neil would say, see you soon. As I say, I'll see you tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. Be looking for the notifications. If you're not a member, it's only 99 cents. 99 cents. It's not about the money, it's 99 cents. But when people see that people like the show enough to become members, they'll come and watch the show too. That's how we grow. Share the video, hit the like button. So more people can come and y'all have more people to chat with. So, as Neil would say, see you soon. As I say, I'll see you tomorrow. And thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Peace, everybody. We out.